Okay, sorry. So in the part one, we failed. I think I failed miserably, and I don't know why. I think the approach was not right. What I'm thinking of doing now is actually using making a skill so that the Claude cowork can directly consume data from the Excel file, and rather than going into and creating an MCP server, then it means it will be completely personal. No one has to do anything, and no one has to share the data. So what I'm thinking is now that since Claude Cowork can actually run um, bash commands, I'm thinking of converting this Excel file into a SQLite file, and using a SQLite file, the system will be able to tell that okay, this is the time that the Claude will be able to tell. Basically, this will work fine, most likely. तो हमें ये करना है कि वी गेट दिस एक्सेल, उसको कन्वर्ट करेंगे SQLite में, एंड वंस द SQLite is converted, Claude then can run commands, which are the bash commands, to run the query on the tables or the SQLite. So this is what I've been doing here. Okay, this is a so this is the Claude SQL file, which thing has to be skill.md. Skill.md. Okay. तो मैं यहाँ पे चैट जीपीटी 5.5 यूज़ कर रहा हूँ टू मेक द skill file. um, Make sure that skill.md adhere to the um, skill manifest. So basically the skill.md should have the skill file, otherwise it will not work basically. हम यहाँ पे ओपन पी वाई एक्सेल यूज़ कर रहे हैं टू गेट डेटा फ्रॉम create one table. क्योंकि ये क्लॉड कोवर्क में चलेगा, सो इट विल वर्क फाइन बिकॉज क्लॉड कोवर्क के पास डायरेक्ट कमांड लाइन का एक्सेस होता है, सो इट कैन रन बैश कमांड्स डायरेक्टली. Yeah, so basically now we are creating a script. The script will extract this finance tracking sheet and most likely create a skill out of it. Yeah. So it will create a script and we have a skill.md here. बट एक प्रॉब्लम ये है इसमें कि द user might never know that it has to upload the file. So it has to give Claude the access or the path where the skill file is. Okay. Yeah. So this works fine. Okay. Can we add the requisites like having Python? Um, if the if the tracking file is not known, then we need to ask the user to give the URL or the path of the file. Then the AI agent can copy the file from the actual path to the working directory. तो हम यहाँ पे मेकिंग श्योर दैट हमारे पास पाइथन होना चाहिए एंड अगर हमें इसका पाथ नहीं पता विच इज़ दी finance AI tracking sheet, then it asks the user where the path is. It will copy the file from that path हमारी working directory में and the directory में वो फिर वो आगे काम करेगा. That is how it should work. Okay. So this is pretty much a good enough. Let me delete this. Okay, let me wait for it. ओके सो हमारे पास अब एक स्किल है on how to use this and on how to actually run custom parsing. ठीक है, so what we do is uh, let me delete this and what we should do is let's keep this and do this. Let's use Claude Sonnet. I think Sonnet से हो जाएगा most likely. Let's try the Sonnet and medium is fine. Can you use the okay? Can you use the finance tracker? So मैं क्या करता हूँ इसमें से ना browser edit execute. I think execute इसको चाहिए. Okay, let it be. Can you use the finance tracker skill and help me with the analysis? ओके, अब ये पूरा पाथ मांग रहा है एंड द पाथ फॉर इट इज okay. So I got the okay, now it will verify. Let's check terminal. Yeah, found. या सो इसने यहाँ पे कॉपी कर लिया. या इसने अब यहाँ पे एक VNV बना दिया अपने लिए टू एक्चुअली यूज इट. या इसने अब ये टर्मिनल में VNV एक्टिवेट कर दिया है एंड नाउ इट्स रनिंग. या सो वी गॉट द फाइनेंस ट्रैकर SQLite 2. So there's no such data as. या सो अब मेरे पास ये डेटा आ गया यहाँ पे. Okay. Yep. So it worked really fine. अगर हम सिर्फ एक स्किल क्रिएट कर दे फॉर ग्रेट. अब एक बारी अब क्या करते हैं, लेट्स गो टू दिस reveal in finder. Need to create a zip of it. Finance tracker. Claude. Okay. So instructions dot md. What I will do is I will go back to my earlier one, which is this one. Can you also update the system instructions in instructions.md file for Claude project? अब जो एक प्रॉब्लम है इसके अंदर कि कब इसको डेटा अपडेट करना चाहिए. लाइक if the file is actually updated, which is the original path, और अब ये यहाँ पे कॉपी करके लेकर आया है, how it will really work is we have to find out कि file update हुई है and we have to copy the new version of the file to the project directory and then do it again. So that is one of the things. um, तो मुझे वो वाला एक पार्ट इसमें डालना पड़ेगा, which is, okay, let's see, save instructions. One thing is how to detect if the um, local file is stale on, mm, how to make sure that every day or unless asked by the user to update it, update the new file, um, the LLM should automatically be copying the newer version of the file. Okay, so I think this is the only point wherein we don't get stale data. Otherwise, I think ये काम कर जाएगा. To find stale means, yeah, so we are adding stale in. Okay, scale में भी change कर रहा है. And इसने बहुत ज़्यादा कर दिया. तो freshness check. आई थिंक फ्रेशनेस चेक एक अलग से स्क्रिप्ट भी हो सकती है, मोस्ट लाइकली. इसने तो बहुत ज़्यादा कर दिया है. So basically now we are converting this into a separate script which will check for freshness of the app, sorry, for the file. And whenever there is a new file that is saved by the user, it will automatically get the new file. Okay, so system instructions have been changed. um, एक बड़ी सी फाइल आ गई है which is the python file. I don't know why it created such a long file but ठीक है. ओके, इसने कैश क्यों क्रिएट कर दिया यार, सीपी पाइथन। ओके गुड, सो ये रिमूव हो गई है। यस ओके कूल, नाउ इसको टेस्ट करके देखते हैं। रिवील इन फाइंडर, compress instructions, Claude, okay, now I need to add skill, which is upload a skill. Okay, uploaded finance tracker, so हमारी skill यहाँ पे आ गई है, looks good. And yeah, so we have scripts also, cool. Now test it, let's use sonnet यहाँ पर भी and let's see what happens. Can you use the finance tracker and help me in my finance analysis? यार ये लो पे है, मोस्ट लाइकली इट विल फेल। आई थिंक मीडियम तो होना ही चाहिए था, बट लेट्स सी। ओके, तो मैं क्या सोच रहा हूँ, अगर इसका वर्किंग डायरेक्टरी नहीं है, यार इसका आई थिंक व्हाट आई शुड डू इज लेट्स गो टू प्रोजेक्ट्स, डिवाइस, आइटली इसके पास होनी चाहिए थी बट ठीक है। Let's just wait. Medium. Path is okay. I think I'm using the wrong thing. इसको यहाँ नहीं करते. The point is we are using co-work now. Let's go to यहाँ पे and yes, let's go to co-work. Let's go to project. Use okay. Let's start from scratch. Finance tracker instructions. ठीक है, के लिए ठीक है। अगर मैं चलो ठीक है, ये वाला ठीक है। तो let's create and we have instructions, we have finance tracker, and let's use effort medium. Can you use the finance tracker to help me analyze my finances? Okay, so yeah, so now it's running the skill, loading tools. Okay, so ये task बना रहा है अभी तो, and now it's running a command. Yeah, so this command they are running, no finance tracker is empty. Okay, so it didn't find the files, so it will most likely ask me to give a file path. Empty. Yeah, so let's give it the file node slash AI tracking sheet dot xlsx. Okay, now let's wait for it. Okay, so it says you have to use it. Okay, which is then a problem. Okay, let's go to. But that means our freshness will not work idly. Yeah, so our freshness will not work. Uh, Downloads tracking sheet. Okay, and it has gone from here. Okay, I have copied the Excel file. Okay, so that means it has received or got the finance file. Now it will run the command to extract workbook. Yeah, so अभी तक I think SQLite तो नहीं create हुआ है. It is still running 11 commands to use two tools. Need. Why don't I see the so the extraction worked. Yeah, so this it goes into temp. Okay, it goes into temp folder. so it will never persist as such. Okay. Profile recap: 32, married, Bangalore, engineer with uh, 82850, 50 act budget. The budget in this needs are 50%, wants are 30%, savings are 20%. Yeah, expense by category also it has provided. Outstanding at 42%, you have 9500. This life insurance shortfall, family health flutter renews this, loans in debts. So basically you have a home loan which is outstanding at this, interest this, then you have an EMI of 20,000, investment this, Infosys share which is minus 6%, allocation further to all with a mid risk profile in 26 years to retirement. Your profile squeeze conservative 37% equity, 52% debt guaranteed, 5% gold, 7% cash. You could reasonably shift towards 50 to 5 to 60% equity over time. The okay, but the R&D at is losing to inflation. Goal status. I think this is fine. Pay off the 9,500 credit card balance in full. Do not let it roll. Uh, Alarming, but no, not yet. This before play. Consider redirecting sheets under license. Do you have access to the actual SQLite um, database of my sheet to run commands on it? Yes, okay. Okay, show me all expensive above 5,000. Okay, yes, so it has the power to actually do everything. So yeah, it's one, two, three. So the okay, yeah, okay. Supposedly, I want to create uh, my net worth. Okay, let's say, is it possible for you to not use temp but the actual working folder wherein the SQLite DB can persist? Okay. Is it possible to create an artifact against the SQLite in our DB? So this is fine. Now the point is, we don't really need a freshness check. Okay. We don't need a freshness check. Let's check, because every time the DB will be created in the slash temp folder, because it's a limitation of Claude cowork. Okay. And also uh, Claude cowork cannot copy uh, files from a folder like documents to its working folder, which is guarded in a sandbox. Hence we don't. Okay, hence we don't need a separate freshness check, because it will run on the temp every time. However, add that add that whenever a new SQLite is created in temp folder, make sure that you copy it to the working folder too. I think one of the biggest thing. Okay, we removed almost 130 lines of code. Okay, this is good. Now, uh, okay, now we can actually read this data. The problem is still this data could have been read on this add-in as well of Google. Oh, sorry, Claude. My problem is how do we make an Excel uh, add or remove a row or update a row, like doing CRUD operations on a table of a SQLite, and then it reflects back into the um, Excel file. That is a must part that I need to think of. Otherwise, I don't see any problem. Like dispatch could work. Like I can talk to it from my phone and it will do all the same things on my laptop or my computer. Um, I think one way is that I can create a local MCP server to do this maybe. Now I want capability to do CRUD operations on the tables of the Excel file. What's the best method to do this? Um, think of the best possible manner. The point is, if they give you the possibility to do CURD operations through a JSON, we need a schema also for this. Okay. If we are using um, CRUD using JSON, then we need a strict schema around the kind of data or value that should be there for the JSON with validation and errors and error response if the JSON is not correct. Uh, is it possible to extract the schema as well when we are doing the extract finance workbook? Okay, so basically what is happening is uh, we extract all the tables, all the columns and the values in it. At the same time, we will define the schema of the table, and whenever the system wants to do a create, read is fine, read is there, update or delete, or maybe create an update, it needs to make sure that the values are in a specific format. Like for date, it has to be a date in a specific format. If it's a number, it's an integer, it's a decimal, then it has to be in a specific manner. Otherwise, uh, it will not work fine. Okay, so we have the JSON and string boolean, date, time, date, number. Yeah, so we have table schema, column schema as well. Okay, and it's updating the skill file and the instructions file. Yeah, so we have this finance tracker schema.json. Yeah, so we have this. Okay, and but it says it's monthly cost. Like we say loan, EMI is basically, um, we don't want system to put formulas, column values, which are basically formulas. Only static values should be considered. uh, should be considered for CRUD operations, for create and update operations, because formula based cells will auto work. Okay, I need to add the functionality. What will happen with the ensure record IDs? Will it will it add ID to the Excel file, or it will add ID into the SQLite. It's a source of truth. Okay, but it might not be possible for a user to maintain these IDs when they work manually on the file. We need to think of a better way or use internal row IDs of Excel slash XML for it. But this will change the structure of columns, the actual Excel file. Yes. Okay, why not use the existing SQLite option when the LLM is already reading with it, and then um, we identify the row uh, we identify the row from SQLite and use option B to match it with the Excel and do the changes. Okay, so basically I'm trying to run create, read or delete, and the problem is I cannot do it um, without adding hidden ID. Okay. What will happen when the Excel is already open by the user on the on its laptop, and Claude does a change? Will it reflect to the user instantly? So then we have to use Google Sheets API. Okay. I think I will finish my stream here. I will think of how to best do this CRUD operations on the Excel file. At the moment, I'm not sure how to do this correctly, or what's the best architecture to do this. Uh, I need to think of a way to do this basically. Hmm. Cool. I will think, and tomorrow I will complete this, most likely, and then we do some uh, actual user tests. Cool. Thank you, guys.